At Yangqing Base, Xiao Honglian decided to use the military to attack Zhang Yi's hideout, citing the official reason as seeking revenge for her relatives and subordinates. However, her true intention was to target Zhang Yi himself, advancing to the Xishan and river basin areas to plunder abundant resources. She was aware, though, that she couldn't act arbitrarily with powerful enemies around. Provoking a war carried even greater risks, and she wasn't certain about Zhang Yi's true strength. She needed time to prepare, ensuring that one strike would suffice. Not long after, Zhuge Qingting's aide brought someone to her, a middle-aged man with a sturdy build. "Hello, leader, my name is Wu Huairan. I used to be the security manager of the War Dragon Security Company. I've been involved in projects at the Hidden Mist Manor, and I've met this man named Zhang Yi before because I helped construct a secure building for him." If Zhang Yi encountered Wu Huairan again, he would surely recognize him as the security manager of the War Dragon Security Company. Wu Huairan had previously served in the military as a professional mercenary and security specialist. After listening to Wu Huairan, Xiao Honglian curiously asked, "How do you know Zhang Yi?" Wu Huairan replied, "It's not just a client-company relationship, I'm very familiar with where he is." Xiao Honglian, not fully understanding Zhang Yi's hideout, asked, "Is there anything different about it?" Wu Huairan detailed the situation of the hideout to Xiao Honglian. After hearing it, Xiao Honglian seemed to awaken. She couldn't blame them for being able to block the Xishan base for over a month without being detected. It turned out that the creators of the hideout were behind this, which also explained a lot. Wu Huairan continued, "The Xishan base may not be able to touch that hideout, but our Yangqing base can destroy it. Leader, please assign this task to me." Wu Huairan was determined not to miss this opportunity to gain credit. The Yangqing base also had a strict hierarchical system, and the higher-ups could enjoy better food, accommodation, and supplies. Xiao Honglian looked at him. "Do you know the weakness of that hideout?" Wu Huairan replied, "The War Dragon Security Company is considered a national leading brand. We can't intrude into customers' rooms, but because we built the rooms, we understand its structure and materials." With a confident expression, Wu Huairan added, "Just by touching the room, using our large construction vehicles, we can completely cut through that wall." Bringing a large construction vehicle from the Yangqing base to the New River area wasn't easy, but the Yangqing base wasn't lacking in fuel and could withstand this level of consumption. Moreover, with Wu Huairan's understanding of the hideout structure, cutting through the outer wall was entirely feasible. Xiao Honglian nodded. "Good, let's go together this time. If this succeeds, then I'll appoint you as the commander of a troop." Joy appeared on Wu Huairan's face. "Thank you, leader, for your trust." Xiao Honglian raised her hand to her face, showing a skeptical expression. "But I still have a question. Even though that hideout is sturdy and uses special materials, we can still create openings with professional tools. So why is it that the Xishan base can destroy it simply by using explosives, yet they couldn't?" The appearance of Wu Huairan pleased Xiao Honglian greatly because she could gather more intelligence through him. However, at the same time, she harbored more doubts. Though the Xishan base couldn't use large construction vehicles, they possessed a large quantity of well-equipped weapons. It seemed unlikely that they couldn't do anything about a hideout. On this world, there was no fortress impregnable, so why was Zhang Yi's hideout still safe? After contemplating for a while, Xiao Honglian continued, "Could it be that the strength of Zhang Yi and his allies is truly formidable, to the extent that the Xishan base finds it difficult to approach them?" At this moment, Xiao Honglian couldn't afford to be careless. Without a clear understanding of the opponent's strength, any reckless action could lead to deadly risks. She waved her hand, signaling for Wu Huairan to leave and prepare. After careful consideration, she gradually decided that if there was danger, the Yangqing base couldn't bear it alone. Other forces must be involved. This way, not only could risks be shared, but it could also prevent them from attacking the base while they were in action. Although acting alone might yield exclusive spoils of war, smart businessmen should only reap limited benefits. Those who enjoyed playing with high risks and high profits were gamblers, and the life of a gambler never ended well. Immediately, Xiao Honglian contacted Wei Dinghai. They were strategic partners and had the closest relationship among the major forces in the city. After exchanging a few pleasantries, Xiao Honglian directly stated her purpose. "The name Zhang Yi is not as simple as we thought. He has been able to resist Xishan Fortress for so long. Now that Xishan Fortress has finally been destroyed, I suspect they might have had a hand in it. Neither of our families dares to confront them directly, so why not cooperate? What do you think?" Wei Dinghai had already sent someone to investigate Zhang Yi, but they couldn't find out the reason behind it and didn't dare to attack his hideout. When Xiao Honglian made her suggestion, Wei Dinghai just chuckled. "We may not be enough to deal with them alone. If we want to strike, we need to involve everyone," Xiao Honglian said with a radiant smile. "We both have the same idea. Baishua sect and Chingpu base, one is an occult organization with seemingly unlimited resources, and the other is a conservative force from the steel factory workers. The power of these two cannot be underestimated. If we take advantage of them being divided and attack Zhangyi from behind, they won't stand a chance. Baishua sect has always been ostracized by other forces in the city, harboring resentment for a long time. Don't be fooled by their seemingly carefree appearance. They are extremely dangerous. No one can trust them, so the best way is to involve them all in this battle. Xiao Honglian continued, as long as our two families join forces, persuading them to act with us will be simpler. We'll take care of Chingpu base, and you handle Baishua sect. Any issues with that? Wei Dinghai responded with a calculating look. This is easy to say, but if the four factions act together, the question of territory division afterward becomes a big issue. Xiao Honglian's laughter was icy. The territory of Shishan Fortress is vast. No single faction can occupy it entirely. Currently, we still need to exert a lot of effort to stabilize our own territories. We don't care about anything else, like the new river area and the material factories and machinery there, they must belong to us. Wei Dinghai continued, we usually operate at sea, those things are not important to us. It's just that we'll need some more food. Furthermore, we hope you provide us with additional fuel. After some haggling, the leaders of the two forces reached an agreement. So, each side began to act according to the agreement, inviting the other two houses to join the fight against Zhangyi. Chingpu base is located in the northwest of the city. It used to be a major center for farming, forestry, and steel production. Chingpu is one of the four largest refuge areas. Its refuge location lies right under the steel mill, with its staff primarily consisting of farm workers, foresters, and steel workers. Although they are not professional soldiers or guards, no one dares to underestimate their fighting spirit. In one of the workshops of the steel mill, a man who appeared to be in his 30s was sitting, tearing apart pieces of bread. On the ground, two people were seated like dogs, one skinny, seemingly Mediterranean, and one with long hair wearing glasses. They were both heavily chained around their necks, sitting on their haunches on the ground like obedient dogs, eagerly awaiting their master's next move. Every time the man tossed a piece of food, they would scramble for it, even foaming at the mouth and biting each other. Seeing this scene, the man broke into a satisfied smile. Director Liu, Director Sun, you two are truly talented as dogs. It's a real waste that you used to be CEOs. A person in combat uniform approached, wearing a badge prominently on their chest, indicating they were a member of Chingpu base. They walked up to the man feeding the dogs, glancing at the comical scene on the ground and couldn't help but chuckle silently. Boss, someone from Yangqing base looking for us, the subordinate reported. They said it's about something important that we don't have the qualifications to know. Xingtian, the leader of Chingpu base, jumped down. All right, let's go see what she wants. As he stepped outside, he saw a little girl sitting in the snow, holding a wooden stick drawing on the snow. In front of her was a giant snow-white wolf, many times larger than a regular dog, resembling a giant wild wolf. But at this moment, the wolf was lying obediently on the snow, watching the girl right, without any sign of aggression. In fact, there was even a hint of innocence and cuteness in its eyes. When Xingtian approached, the wolf raised its head and barked loudly. The girl on the snow also looked up when she saw Xingtian, a sweet smile appearing on her chubby face. Daddy. Xingtian gently smiled as he approached and lifted Lingling up, then hugged her tightly to shield her face from the cold. Didn't I tell you? If there's nothing urgent, don't go outside. It's very cold out there. If you really want to go out, remember to wear your hat and scarf properly. Lingling, Xingtian's adopted daughter, giggled sweetly and said, it's not cold at all. It's warm inside the steel mill. Xingtian lightly pinched her tiny face. If you catch a cold, you'll be in trouble. He then set Lingling down in front of the big dog. First, play with Lele for a while. Daddy has some things to do, and then I'll come back to you. Lingling obediently nodded, then sat down again, continuing to write on the ground and saying to Lele, this is number 1, this is number 2. The large dog Lele looked very intrigued, but it seemed to have difficulty understanding this game. It was truly challenging for it to learn. Xingtian entered his office, which used to be the CEO's area. The room was decorated extravagantly, yet in a simple and elegant style. Xingtian walked in casually. The information officer was waiting for him there. The leader, she's been waiting for you for a while, the officer said. Xingtian approached and sat down on the sofa. If she wants to see me, she can wait a bit. It won't hurt. Nevertheless, he said, pressing the button to connect the screen. The communication device immediately displayed the beautiful face of Xiao Honglian, her impatient expression evident. Xingtian, finding you wasn't easy either, making us wait this long, Xiao Honglian said, her tone implying annoyance. Xingtian explained, no one can sit in front of the communication device every day. I had some matters to attend to. If you want something from me, just say it straight. Xiao Honglian got straight to the point. Xishan Fortress has been destroyed. I wonder if Chingpu base has any opinions on this? Xingtian slightly frowned, responding naturally. The northeast area of Xishan borders ours. I don't think you care much about that area. On the contrary, their territory is so vast that no one can occupy it entirely. So why don't we negotiate a way to share it? Xiao Honglian chuckled. That's easy to negotiate, but currently, there's a problem on the former territory of Xishan Fortress. A powerful force has taken over. If we don't deal with them, none of us can feel safe passing through that area. They have destroyed our people and Wei Dinghai's. Xingtian's eyes sharpened at the news. Does this city truly harbor such powerful figures? They dare to take a piece from Xishan Fortress and even confront our two major bases? Xiao Honglian nodded. Indeed, there is someone strong enough to exist.